Okay. Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? Oh, wow. Let me just adjust this headband so we can be gisting very well. My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you are so very welcome indeed. We are now going to review The Real Housewives of Lagos, episode 12 of season 2. And when I tell you, it was a beast. As you very well know, the last episode, we had Chioma on the floor, we had Iyabo behaving like a wild cat, while we had Mariam and Faith, who were standing 10 toes deep in defense and protecting pregnant Laura. It was a disgrace as far as I'm concerned when it comes to the way that Iyabo behaved. Iyabo, where and who do you think you are? Just because you're the eldest. But you have to behave yourself in a fashion of respect, where you are held with respect. She told you to sit down, and absolutely you sit down. You sit all the way down. You're disrespectful even to yourself. Now I understand why Faith came with her security, because she said, you know what, this place can go really left, and I'm not out here in these streets to come and be attacked by a wild cat. It kind of calmed down. In the same token, Iyabo was there just shoving and pushing Mariam away. She was so angry. Why? For what? What is wrong with you, Iyabo? What is wrong with you? I mean, I know that you have very little class, but can't some class rub off on you from Faith? Can there not be some class that you can embrace from Faith? Anyway, Chioma says, well, thank God it didn't get violent. Thank God it didn't this, that, or whatever. In her confessional, she was like, people that are getting violent, they should not be allowed to come in, this, that. I think at that point in time, she was second guessing her relationship with Iyabo, because Iyabo is a loose cannon. It's not the first time, not the second time. Needless to say, they kind of sort of calmed down, and Faith went on to explain, which I did not know why, but it was fabulous because she dropped a bombshell, to explain the relationship between herself and Laura to the girls yet again, of which Laura echoed yes. And while she was doing so, she said that Laura supports her, that Laura will like her pictures, she will leave comments. That's traffic, because at the end of the day, traffic will come from Laura to Faith, because she's, going on with her business. Like the necklace that you are wearing. Oh my God. When she said it, I really did think that she was talking to Chioma, not knowing that she was talking to Iyabo. It was as if Iyabo said, what? Who? What am I promoting? As if to say, I could never. The necklace that you are wearing. And I know how it went down, because Priscilla and Faith got along. Faith said it, that they were on Instagram chit-chatting. I do the same thing. I chit-chat with you guys. I follow you guys. I make comments so that I can bring traffic to you guys. We do it as influencers. We do it as YouTubers. We collab so that we can raise more influence and we can have more followers, because followers will turn into what? That can turn into traffic. That can help with your businesses. You're absolutely right. Do you think when I start my brand, I'm not going to give out PR to other influencers so that they can raise my influence? 100%. That was what Faith was talking. That's the way we do business today. Iyabo could not believe it. She said, say what? And it was as if she wanted to break the necklace from her neck. Because I believe some way, somehow, she must have taken the necklace from Priscilla, and maybe Priscilla did not tell her or forgot to let her know where exactly she got the necklace from. After some time, Iyabo got up and walked out into the garden. That was how uncomfortable she was, because you know what? She was shamefaced. That was what it was. And since it was Chioma's hosting of this fabulous salt beach, she now said, well, let's get undressed, have our swimsuits on, and just go out to the pool. Of which they did. And Laura was fabulous. Laura, don't do that again, but I get it, I understand. And she said, you know what? Iyabo, you don't like it, you're too old. Get out. Get out. Because at the end of the day, who the F are you? Really and truly, who the F are you, bitch? You ain't nobody that I know of. And I'm referring that to Yabo. So Faith and her talked about that. Anyway, they got undressed and they went to the pool. We had Yabo, we had Mariam, who has found a new group now. You know, Mariam, don't do that. I know that you want to belong so badly to this clique, but you will always be the outsider. You will always be the one that they will throw under the bus. You will always be the one that they will sacrifice. And you will never ever be considered in that little group where you all follow and, you know, pay homage to your queen, who is Iyabo. And you know what it is, I tell you, you will always be on that treadmill. You will never get off. You will never catch up. It's an exhausting position, you, Mariam, to be in trying to join this group. They don't care for you and they will forever betray you. Just some simple advice. Focus on other things and other people, okay? Anyway, we had Tanya, we had Chioma, Mariam in the pool, and Laura and Faith came out afterwards. For whatever crazy reason, Iyabo jumped up and out and went into the other pool. And so, in quick succession, Chioma, Tanya, Mariam jumped into the other pool. And so they were expecting Laura, pregnant Laura, and Faith to jump into the pool with them, into the other pool. And somebody said, yeah, and I think it was Yabo, somebody just said F off or something like that. To which it sounded like music. Faith said, F off too. I lived for it. I said, that's right. Faith is no pushover. I love you, Faith. I love you in a way that I cannot find words to express, because to be calm is powerful. It's the most powerful thing that I tell you, and I dedicate this to Faith. I wasn't really crazy. I've said it before. I wasn't really crazy, as you have noticed in the beginning, to film Real Housewives of Lagos season 2. Because why? Because it wasn't available for all and sundry to watch, because we were able to have access to it for season 1. So it was fabulous. This time around, like I explained in the last episode, it's now on Hey You, but this was towards the very end. We would have loved it from the beginning so that everybody had access. So I did 1 or 2 episodes here that I thought, okay, you know, this is fun. But I really dedicated the last episodes because I am so mesmerized by the personality, by the calmness, by the discipline, by the self-control and confidence of Faith Mori. I have never seen it in an African woman, mind you, because we spicy, never seen it, and I live for it. Moving along. The following morning, we have Chioma, who sits out and she looks like a vision. You know, I love Chioma's fashion. It's over the top and I make no apologies about it. The Dolce & Gabbana glasses, chef's kiss. The hat, chef's kiss. The earrings, oh my God. Then the kaftan cape ensemble with the flowers, chef's kiss. She was a vision in a garden. It looked like the cover of a magazine for Town and Country, the New York edition, summer 2024. She gave me all of that, and I said to myself, I live for her. I really do live, and I give all the girls their flowers. Then we had very ordinary, plain Jane, spineless Tanya, who came through. And so they sat down, and then we had who had made an effort. She looked fabulous in high heels, wearing white. Laura coming, making their way. And then Tanya is like, did she wear heels? What is she wearing heels for? That kind of gossipy, spineless, I cannot say it in front of you kind of situation. I was very put off. So put off. So put off. Why? Because Laura came and braced her, unbeknownst to her, that you're kissing the enemy. You really are. And then she embraced Chioma. They sat down and Chioma was like, well, what happened? You know, this, that between yourself and Iyabo, didn't have to go all the way. And Laura was very, very calm. And she said, she's your friend, you support her. I don't expect anything more. And Chioma in her confessional was like, all of us have mouth. If they come for you, you come for them too. But Chioma, what are you talking about? That's exactly what Laura did. And you saw Iyabo running around, jumping like a wild grasshopper all over the place. As a matter of fact, your dress almost tore as she dragged you. It's not about mouth. It's about behaving in a very civilized fashion, of which this group is really lacking, apart from Faith and Laura, mind you. From there, the party now, ensembles, and we had Dr. Rommel. Dr. Rommel came the night before. Dr. Rommel came late. Well, he invited very late, and Yabo was not feeling him. And in his defense, when exactly did you expect him to come? The same time as you guys, don't be ridiculous. But anyway, he came and he sat down there and he spewed so many lies that I looked at this man and I said, is this man a doctor, one? Is this man, what is he apart from an insect? Oh my God. Because Faith did it in the other episode. I'm going to do it right now. As I saw him, I wish if I was sitting there, insecticide, die. I don't mind. He lied. He lied to the point that I said to myself, Fumi, you know what? This really lets you know that there are other people out here in the streets that will concoct a story, make up a story, completely fabricate a story, and people believe it. And people will believe. And do you know who I thought? I thought of Harry and I thought of Meghan. I did. That this is how they form lies out of the sky, out of the air. And people believe it. Because Choma confronted Dr. Rommel that what happened? That are these lies? That is this true? Is that true? And I love the editing in this episode, because whoever was editing this episode for this season, as Dr. Rommel was telling lies, that was how they were coming in with the receipts. Dr. Rommel said that Faith did not invite him to Choma's event. You remember when she was selling her clothes, fundraiser thingamajig, that Faith did not invite. That, as a matter of fact, it was Faith who was talking about Iyabo, that let's get close to Iyabo, that if we get close to Iyabo, then we'll be able to have that status quo, so on and so forth. You know what was amazing to me? And it was in stark contrast. As he was telling these fantastic lies, Faith was just looking at him. It was amazing. She did, even to the point that I don't remember who said something, and Faith told her, don't interrupt, let Dr. Rommel speak, as if to say, let him hang himself. I lived for it. I need some more lip gloss. I'll be right back. Yes. Juvia's place. And so that was how he continued lying. The funny thing was, this was how Tiana, Toyin, and Mariam in Ife were accusing each other of lying, and it got to blows. The same thing. And Faith just looked at him like, you are a complete and absolute idiot. You're a fly, you're an insect, you're of no repute. It's very dangerous when people behave like this. I don't know whether he really just did it to be on the show, to get traction, to have people to talk to him. But it was lovely to have the receipts that this insect of a human being is not worth the time of day. I cannot wait for the reunion so that we can see this with our own eyes. And we can see Yabo, we can see Mariam, we can see Tanya, most especially, to see how they're going to back up Dr. Rommel. Mariam wasn't feeling too good because, the night before when they had gone to the other pool, they had lied that the pool was warm, that the pool was this, that the pool was that. Mariam, like I said, you're already suffering. You see what is happening trying to join this group. The water in actual fact was cold. And so Mariam now woke up with a cold. And this is somebody who is supposed to be fit, supposed to keep herself healthy so that she can take care of herself in preparation for her beautiful child, her second baby coming. Do you see how it all goes down? You are punishing yourself, Mariam. And it was confirmed. Mr. Insect, Dr. Rommel. Dr. Rommel is an insult to doctors. I don't want to call him a doctor anymore. I really don't. He jumped into the water. He was like, oh, it's cold. Oh, God. I'm so emotional with this episode that I'm flipping back and forth because the scenery was beautiful. And I just loved the way that Faith really controlled herself. And you had Tanya, who now gained the confidence. And do you see follow? They are always like that. They can talk when they have people there to support them. So she was like, would she even answer me? Would she even talk to me? Of which Faith, looking statuesque, beautiful and white, turned around and said, you know, Tanya, you're just like a little puppet. Boneless, spineless fish. Puppet. That's what she is. She's a puppet on a string and she follows everybody. Talking gibberish, talking rubbish. Moving along, Faith now confronted Choma and said, for somebody who's so well traveled and such a fashionista and so highly educated, I just found out that Faith is also a lawyer of the fabulosity. Why would you ask about my age right there in front of everybody of somebody that you've just met? Of which Choma now went for the jugular. Choma, if you had sat back and listened to what she had said, she was 100% right. Now I tell you this. Do I mind somebody asking me about my age? Not at all. Am I offended by it? Not at all. Here's the thing that I peeped right away. Choma was calculating Faith's age because she had an 11-year-old. So she was like, how old is she that she has an 11-year-old? I am 54 with a 5-year-old. How old is she with a 5-year-old? That was where it was coming from. Choma, you have to be careful, my love. You have to be very careful. Because you see, it had an underlying connotation that she's too old to have had this young child. And here you are wanting to be a mother. But you don't know when. Be very careful. And that was what Faith peeped. And let me tell you something. Motherhood rebirthed me. I became reborn. And it's the biggest and greatest achievement and joy. My beautiful son at the age of 48. So don't judge people, Choma. Don't do that. Also, if you were asking about her age, you didn't have to do it in the group setting of where Yabo had stepped on her dress and was already looking at her in one way, shape or form. Because Faith is intimidating. Because Faith, you know what, is better than all of you put together and a bag of chips. She really is. And so instead of you to have said, Faith, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry if you felt offended. I was curious. Or I was this. It would have aligned with the beautiful vision that you are. But you actually sat there and you looked very stupid. You looked very senseless. And a lawyer does not make an intelligent person. It does not. Well-traveled does not make an intelligent person. I have a whole bunch of countrymen here in London, there, where, and everywhere. They won't go to the museums. They won't go to the art galleries. They will all stay in the same place and they'll be eating their eba, okra soup or whatever. Because as much as they're in Europe, they're still in Nigeria. Because they keep that circle tight. They keep that mentality. They don't embrace everything. So that you can be Nigeria, but you can also embrace things around you. The Europe that you are in. And that is how you came across. The ignorance. It doesn't matter how many books you read, you're still ignorant. The ignorance will kill you before anything else. And I have to reiterate that for all of the girls. It was extremely unpleasant to see the fighting. Extremely unpleasant to see very little of your businesses, of your brands, of Nigeria, of the countryside. You went to Salt Beach. And I did not get to see the beach. They did not show the beach. I don't mind the drama, but give me the excellence. Because I want to see it. And I know that if I want to see it, there are millions of others that wanted to see it too. And so the back and forth was just rubbish, you know. And still, Faith comported herself. I lived for it. I just lived for it. I said, go right ahead, mama. And that was it, really. That was it. Yabo got up at one point in time. She's good at getting up. And, you know, Dr. Romel was like, are you going? Are you going? You have to listen to this part. She said, no, 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 I'll be here. I'll be here. I lived for it. Because deep down inside, Yabo might be a very wild cat, but she's got some street smarts. I know she peeped it. Because the psychoanalysis, I studied psychology 101, 106 all the way. When somebody is that calm, watching somebody else, talking gibberish, you have to sit back and say to yourself, I'm not too sure about Dr. Rommel. Even without the receipts, if I just saw him talking and how Faith was keeping her composure and just looking at Laura, it was funny. As if to say, do you see the fool? Do you see this idiot? Do you see what he's saying? Oh my God. Oh my God. It was fabulous. Congratulations on the entire cast. And I cannot wait for what? For the reunion. Let us get on with it. I live and I love you guys. And do not forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button. And you guys, guess what? I will see you what? I go see you now sooner than later. All of my love. Before I go, I also want to chime in. Do you guys want me to do Big Brother Naija? I will do it. I will do it. Let me start doing parties. Let me come and start doing events. Drop it down in the comments, because a lot of you say, Fumi, you don't cover Naija. I don't know all of them. I'm here in Jand. So help me out, okay? All of my love. God bless you.